What's poppin', motherfuckers? It's Erica with Not Your Average GDC. How's it going, fam? Hope you're all well. I wanted to wake you guys up today because we are beginning a new month of testing. I'm very excited to announce what we are testing this month. Let's get into it. So, we are going to test the Chris REEVE Small and Cozy versus the Chris REEVE Small Sebenza 31 versus the Chris REEVE Small Sebenza 21. Why are we doing this? Well, there are multiple reasons. Number one, a lot of people have asked me which one I like best out of these three. Now, I have tested all of them. They all have their own separate reviews. However, at least for me, if my opinion is outdated, I don't trust it. Simple as that. I think we constantly have to be learning, rejuvenating our minds and our opinions. You cannot make an opinion in life and then stick with it for eternity, generally speaking. I think it's healthy to continuously refresh that and see if you still feel the same. Because the way I sharpen now, the way I use my knives now, my lifestyle now is very different from when I tested all of these, so I want to put them all head to head at the same time and see if my opinion still remains the same. Because last I knew, I enjoyed the Small Sebenza 31 the most out of these two, and out of all three, I enjoyed the Sebenza 21 the most. So basically, we are refreshing the palette and seeing how we feel right now in the present. There are also other reasons. So I have a bunch of stuff coming in from the channel. Everything from a knife coming from Kyle Noseworthy in Canada to some Spydercos that I've never used to surprise things to test. I have people sending in gifts. I have loaners for the channel. I have Rex 76 coming in for testing, but none of it's here yet, and yeah, some of it's still being made. I know Steve's knife that he's making me is still in the works, so I just don't have anything right now to start the month off with, so I figured I would just choose something that we already have. That way I'm not like waiting and wasting time. We will test that stuff as it comes in. Yeah, so we're going to test these three. I want to see which one I enjoy the most out of all of them now. I also will be testing this Tale of Knives sheath that I bought. I'm not really buying knives right now unless, like, absolutely necessary. Like, the knife from Kyle Noseworthy, he said that he couldn't, like, send me a free one. He could just give me a huge discount, so I paid $80. You know, it's a $300 knife, and he gave me a massive discount, and I paid 81 American dollars. That's really not too much for a handmade custom knife, and I need some new stuff for the channel, so, like, he gave me a huge discount. I appreciate that, so I paid for that one. But otherwise, I'm not really buying any knives. That's why they're all being sent in as, like, loaners or gifts and stuff. But I did buy this sheath because I carry a multi-tool. My old sheath from Tale of Knives was giving me back issues. I have videos on that. It was a much longer sheath that also had a flashlight spot, and it was taking up too much real estate on my back, and it was causing back and hip issues. So I did get this one so that I can still carry my multi-tool. I paid for this, but it's just a solo multi-tool carrier, doesn't have anything else. Very high quality, so I'm going to run this for the month and see if this, number one, causes any back issues, and number two, just test it as a whole because I've never tested it before. So this is also being tested. It's just being run on my belt. So that'll be fun to see how this works. Very high quality. We love Tale of Knives, but, you know, trying to stay relevant with new content. But let's just, you know, let's do some, like, disclaimers about this testing, because I know some of you guys are squirming in your chairs and you're like, you've already reviewed these, you've already tested them, we want something different, blah, blah, blah. I get it. Hear me out. So I want to test a few myths that I have heard about Chris REEVE knives, okay? One of the biggest ones, I mean, I don't know if these are myths, they're just like fairy tales. They are stories that have been told. One of the biggest things that I've heard about Chris REEVE knives is that you have to sharpen to get to the good steel, right? Is it soft? It used to be. We don't know how I mean, we know the HRC on these now. We always have. It's been upped, but there's a tail that goes around that you have to sharpen to get to the good steel. I have personally been told by people in the community that really know a lot about REEVE knives that you have to sharpen like 5 or 6 times to get to the better steel. You have to lay the edge back to 15 degrees per side. All of these things, right? So we're going to test that. I've been testing it. I want to keep testing it, and I really want to get some thorough info on that. So the Inkosi and the 21 have a 15 DPS edge. Okay, so they've got really fat bevels. I did measure them out with it's like a little dog tag thing that Super Steel Steve sent me, and you can measure your edge angle with it. So this one, as you can see, has a very fat bevel, and it's 15 degrees per side, okay? So that's nailing one of the mythical creatures. The 21, again, 15 degrees per side, very fat bevel, as you can see, okay? So that's going to be taking care of one of the myths, that you have to lay the edge back to get it to perform better, okay? Secondly, I have a 31 here that has never been touched or sharpened or anything, so this will be counteracting the 15 DPS. This will be our test subject for the regular edge that they give you, which is convexed, done on a belt, and a smaller bevel, okay? So we do have a test subject that has just stock. And this one, like I said, has never been sharpened, so we can bring this in to get some ideas on what the factory edge does versus a knife that has been sharpened numerous times. This 21, I have probably sharpened, I want to say 5 times. And this Inkosi, I'll be honest, I put an edge on it last night, and this is the first feasible edge I can work with. I really fucked up the edges all of the other times that I had it, I'm going to be honest. I was trying to do the 15 DPS thing the first time around. I know that I convexed the edge, and I know that it wasn't even, and I know that I didn't apex it correctly. So we're just going to kind of start fresh with this one. This does have a correct edge. It is very even. I'm much more aware of what I'm doing now. This is very even. And I feel that I did a much better job this time, so we're gonna kind of start with this, right? Also, we can try different ways of sharpening and different edges, right? So this has a high polish. I finished this off on an 8,000 grit Nanawa, and then went through a whole strop progression until I got to 0.5 micron, and then I finished it off completely on just pure straight leather. So this is like the most polished edge that I can really get with the supplies that I have. As you can see, it's just extremely shiny. I don't even know if you can polish that anymore, realistically. That's it. There is no scratch pattern. There is literally 0 scratch pattern on this. It is completely 100% reflective. So we can kind of test that versus, like, again, the stock edge that they send you with versus a 600 grit edge. That's what this 21 has right now, is a 600 grit DMT edge, super toothy. You might be able to hear it. I can usually catch this on the mic. Hopefully you can hear that. It's very toothy. However, I did strop it a little bit on a strop with green compound, so that did give it a little bit of like a polish, as you can see. It's not perfect like on the Inkosi, but because this is the softer run S35 VN, it does polish without you even trying, really. So the green compound did give it a nice little flare. But again, it still has some tooth, and we can try different ways of sharpening and stropping and see what works best, right? So tons of little things that we're kind of testing out here and working through to see if we can debunk any of them. I think it's going to be very interesting. And then, yeah, you know, what model we like better, because I really don't like that the Inkosi tells me where to put my fingers and stuff. Like, I don't like that on a knife typically. This one does fit my hand perfectly, but I just don't like when knives tell you where to put your fingers. However, this is a super stout, beefy little knife that is extremely overbuilt in a good way, yet still remaining very elegant, in my opinion. So I'm really curious to see if my opinions of this kind of change or anything. And you know, am I a little biased with Chris Reeve knives? Yeah, again, being honest, like I'm friends with Tim, we text. However, I've never like sugar-coated my experience with these knives. You can watch all my videos where I'm just completely shitting on them when they go bad, and as I learn and grow, altering some opinions. Yeah, I'm still honest, even though Tim is one of my good friends. Here's the thing, like, this is a fact. The Sebenza 21 or 31, the model, the Sebenza, is the Mila Kunis of the knife community, and we all know that. Like, you can't argue with me, right? Like, this is simply Mila Kunis in a knife form. She's perfect, and you can't argue that. And she's also literally the most beautiful creature that has ever been created by the universe. That's this. The Sebenza is exactly that. Now, are there kinks sometimes in the works? Yes, there are. We've recorded that, but this one is perfect. My inlay one was not, but we were honest about that. But this is the most beautiful, elegant, perfect model that exists, and you can't argue that, because you cannot argue Mila Kunis, can you? So, yeah, I mean, I don't think the friendship plays into anything. You know, I have talked to Tim on the phone and FaceTime and stuff, and I've told him my real opinions and what my issues are, and I don't think that's really going to play into my opinion here, okay? But I did just want to forewarn you guys that he is a friend of mine, just so that you guys don't shred me in the comments. Yeah. I think it'll be fun, guys. I think it'll be fun because here's the thing. You can buy a 21 on the secondary off of eBay or something. You can. And the reason I want to bring this into play, even though it is not being made anymore since it's discontinued, is because you can still get blades for the 21. I have said that before in numerous videos. They are going to do a run of MagnaCut 21 blades for the 21. So don't safe queen it. Use it so that you can get a MagnaCut reblade. I mean, technically you don't have to use it. You can just pay for the reblade either way, but I don't really like being wasteful, so I would rather send this in with like a toasted 35 blade, just so I know that I used it to its full potential. It can go bye-bye, and then we could put a MagnaCut on here. That's just how I work. I don't feel that I need to waste a perfectly good blade just because I want the newest, latest, and greatest. So I'm going to really try to like run through this. It'll take time, obviously, and then, you know, at a good stopping point, we will put a MagnaCut blade in here. But again, I want to run this because you guys can get MagnaCut blades as soon as they're available for your 21. So it is still relevant, right? It's still relevant. We can still use these and use the blade on them even though they're discontinued. So that's why I'm bringing the 21 into play. Also because I've just always said that I like the 21 over the 31. But I also have not had a lot of good experiences with the 31. My inlay one is the one that I tested. We ran into numerous problems. However, this one I haven't tested yet, and it came perfect out of the box. So running a perfect 31, I'm very curious to see if I do end up liking the improvements over the 21, because this one seems to be perfect so far. So again, trying to refresh our opinions. That's a healthy thing to do. I'm very excited to record the sharpening with these knives, the stropping, the testing. Very excited about that. My inlay 31 that I have done everything from processing wild hair to batoning with it, to construction work and scraping, sealing shit with it. Like, I have done everything with that knife. You can watch all of that content on the Use Your Shit playlist, but we're going to do a little more normal stuff this time around. I've done all of the really hard use. We know that the Sebenza can stand up to hard use. Sebenza means work. That's what it wants to do. We have recorded literally trying to break the knife and it does not break. So we are not going to be doing a ton of crazy hard use with these. This is very much a more analytical testing run of mine where we're really seeing which one of these models may suit you best, if it is worth the Magna Cut blade for the 21, if the myths about getting down to the good steel, laying the edge back, all that stuff, you know, running it at a 600 grit edge. We're going to see if all of that is true about these, right? I'm really, really curious to see how these turn out with my new knowledge, my new education, my new sharpening techniques and stuff like that. Very, very excited to share this with you guys. So hopefully that'll hold you guys over until we get all of the new stuff in for the channel. You know, I'm sorry it's taking so long, but like I said, I'm not paying for any of this other than the Kyle Noseworthy knife. Like, these are all donations, loaners, and gifts to the channel. So, like, I am not going to bug these people about when they send them out or when they're going to be done. Like, I do not care. I have stuff that we can, you know, hold ourselves over with until the stuff comes in. And I told Kyle to just do whatever he wants with that little bake apple that he's making me. Spoiler alert, it's a bake apple. Little tiny EDC fixed blade knife. I just told him it's a blank canvas for you and literally just do whatever you want. So I'm not going to bug him about when it's going to be done. I don't want to rush him. Okay, so hopefully this holds you guys over until we get the stuff in. But yeah, I will see you guys on the next video. I hope that you enjoy. I miss you all very much. Sorry for the sporadic content. Life is just crazy. Work is crazy. And the living situation is crazy. Obviously, we didn't leave the campers. Clearly, I'm still here. The town kicked us out and was like, get the fuck out. This is illegal. And we were like, okay. But we had nowhere to go, so we just stayed. And the cops drive by every day, like, very slowly. Like, the cop drives by every single day, and I'm, like, out in the dog yard, and I'm just like, smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. And they haven't come through yet. I think they just realized, like, shit, they really don't have anywhere to go. So it's illegal that we're staying here. We're not supposed to. They want us to get the fuck out, but we're not because we don't have anywhere to go, and we're trying to get a house, and that takes an extremely long time when you are broke and have no pay stubs, and there are kinks in the works. But we're trying. So there's an update for you guys. I will see you guys on the next video. I love you so much. Take care. Go use your shit. Use your Sebenza 21, please. But, like, really, please go use your shit. Like, actually use it. It'll be very fun for you. You will feel great. It's good for the soul, okay? I don't know if you guys knew this. Sorry, before I say goodbye, this is, like, really random, but I don't know if you guys know this, but my eyes are 2 different colors because my mom has hazel eyes and my dad has blue eyes. So I ended up having these weird eyes where one of mine is, like greenish, bluish, gray, and the other one is the same color but has orange flecks in it. And I just find that very interesting, and I feel like it makes my eyes look weird on camera. I don't know if it's not catching it. One day I'm going to post a picture of it because I have a picture of my orange fleck eyeball, and I'm going to post it for you guys because I find it interesting, because I'm conceited. So, yeah, I will see you guys on the next video. Go use your shit. I love you all so much. Learn how to sharpen your knives, and I will see you on the next video. Take care.